In the third lesson plan, we're actually going to move to the intermediate level. In this particular lesson, the user can manipulate only the aperture setting. The aperture setting is the opening of the iris inside the camera. And again, as you notice, when I click on a larger opening, which is indicated by a smaller number, you can see a little animation of the aperture appearing here. As I choose a smaller opening for the aperture, you can see that the whole opening gets smaller, allowing less lighting, and automatically the image gets updated to on the manipulated image window, indicating an underexposed photograph or a darker image. So we already automatically can establish that the f-stop with the larger hole, uh, which has a lower number, allows more light in, and I can automatically see the preview of this aperture setting. Again, on these preview boxes, the only setting that can be changed is the aperture, and the shutter speed and the film speed are locked in, and again and they cannot be changed, and the color gray is the indicator for that. Another factor about the aperture setting is the larger the aperture iris, basically will be getting a more shallow depth of field. The smaller the opening of the iris, or the larger the f-stop number, we would get a deeper depth of field. So for example, if I click on f16, it's kind of hard to see at this point because I can't change these other settings, but automatically I know the larger number, you can see that the second image in the background is actually blurred out, and I have a more shallow depth of field. In the next lesson plan, we're going to talk about interactive exchange between the aperture and the shutter, and eventually we'll be using the film speed and the shutter and the film speed simultaneously. In addition to this direct interaction and manipulation, once you click on this tab again, you can read more in-depth information about the actual aperture setting and aperture priority, and the depth of field that is produced by a smaller f-stop, which you can see the background is grayed out, versus a larger f-stop, which everything basically is maintained in focus. So there are also actual examples and links that you can reference to fully understand the difference between depth of field in relations to larger or smaller f-stop here. In the next lesson plan, we're going to be changing aperture and shutter simultaneously.